starting. Great. So, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing all right. Had a good night, a good morning, and ready to probably do nothing today. I think we're entering a pretty interesting window. Um, yeah, same here. Um, but I think it's important that we keep an open mind. And we'll see how it goes today. But despite the fact that we broke structure yesterday, so let's review the QQQE chart real quick. All right, so yesterday gap down over the weekend news, U.S. Europe tension. You know the story. I have nothing to show you. I'm not a Greenland expert. I'm not a political tariff war expert. I'm a trading expert, and that's what I do, and that's why I focus on. But I know that it created that gap down. All right. What did we do the last time that we broke from one day? Oh, sorry. Let me share the screen. Thank you for the reminder. So yeah, I'm not saying that will happen. I'm just saying that yes, we have step one of a breakdown, but don't paint yourself in the corner of the market is going into a multi-week pullback. The market is going into a correction. The market is going into a bear market. Uh, you will likely stay in that mindset too long, and that's a bit why I don't short. All right. I want to remain neutral. I want to remain in observation of new information that will come in today, in the next few days. And with Brett already approaching oversold readings, I'm not so sure that we will not set up sooner than later. All right. I don't have a clue, but I will watch that closely. All right. So last time that we broke below the 21-day MA structure, right back up the following day. The day prior, right back up the following day. The time before, yeah, we broke down, and what happened is we started to live below the declining 21-day MA structure. So that's another possibility. And the day, not the day, but the time before that we broke below, oh, what happened again is we swing back right back into structure, and we started that mini trend as well. All right, so all that I wanted to say this morning is you don't know what will happen. Okay, let's wait for more information. Don't assume that because we broke below the 21-day MA structure that we will have a 2020 crash or the AI bubble will burst. All right, we just don't know that. So the only thing that we can track and follow is price action and how price action will behave from here. I was talking about oversold breadth, and let's look at the Nasdaq. So all the other markets, so we have that divergence going on from uh, the start of the year, basically. So January to that was the first day of the year. We started to see tech diverge from the rest of the market, from the Russell, from the S&P 500, from NYSE as well. And look what happened here. Yesterday morning on that gap down, we tapped 2 standard deviation. So very oversold readings. And at these places, that's usually where you get those bounces, lows, and place where the market really find its footing and momentum come back in. So that's not a place for me to start shorting. That's not a place to be too bearish. That's a place to just assess that, okay, price broke below the 21 DMA structure. The McClellan summation is still below a declining 10 DMA. So now that last week and the prior week, we were telling ourselves that, okay, the price is above a rising structure, but the bread didn't confirm the move. So now uh, price is how to say that is coming back into the breadth structure. So likely that the breadth was telling the real story, and now price and breadth are aligned. They are both in contraction and below declining structure. All right, and the McClellan summation with yesterday's selling is accelerating to the downside. So no idea if we will have another leg lower and we need to retest those oversold readings on the summation as well. But if it happens, then that will only mean that there's a more meaningful move coming up on the right side, and that's exciting. That's not threatening. All right, so if we do retest those oversold readings on the summation, that will give us a nice market cycle to play again. And by the way, we don't have any traction since the end of October. The market is basing since then. So be open-minded to every scenario. The market can just shake out over a couple days here, couple weeks, and then we make that new all-time high move and we finally find traction and get momentum. Or we can go into a deeper pullback and correction. I don't have a clue. But we will find out, that's for sure. All right, so breadth extensions are approaching oversold as well. Normalized, we are already oversold. We're entering oversold levels. So, all right, that's not a place to turn to bearish. So that's about it for the market, guys. Credit spreads had that big spike, closed back below the 21-day MA structure. So if we don't reclaim that structure today, that would be kind of another clue that we might not see a longer and deeper pullback, and that might be a shakeout and news-related thing going on. So we will find out about that. Ideally, we want to see spreads keeping below the structure. VIX, though, is telling a different story. All right, so VIX did spiked up above a now rising 21-day MA structure, so we need to continue tracking that. There's definitely some volatility coming in the market. News-driven market, structure breakdown, so we have to respect that VIX spike as well. But it could end up being the fear that was needed to shake out the market as well. VIX was very suppressed in the last few weeks, so maybe that's what was needed. And finally, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was acting right, but was running right into a declining weekly structure. And over the weekend, we sold off. We broke down yesterday below the 21-day MA structure, and now we're living below a declining structure. So, yeah, that's another risk of kind of signal. So we have a risk of signal on VIX, on Bitcoin, but credit spreads is telling a bit different story. So we will see who's right and who's wrong. All right, so just a quick question. At what point you go full cash? When I get stopped out of my positions. My risk is known, my risk is controlled. For me, that break of structure is not a sell everything signal. That's a stop buying new exposure signal. So by asking that question, you assume that we will start a big pullback in big correction. But who knows? Who have the answer? All right. So I'm doing this for many years, and you see the mindset that I have. I go into each day not knowing what will happen. All right. I don't have a clue if the market will shake out only one day or 25 weeks. I don't have a clue. And I don't need to, because I have the signals to tell me so when it's time to jump back in the market and when it's time to stop buying. And when my positions that I have, my runners and even my new exposure will stop me out, then the market will push myself out of it. And that will be my signal. All right, you don't need to know what will happen. And those that tell you otherwise, they're probably bullshitting you, by the way. All right. All right. So, does anyone have a problem with no sound? All right. So, let's review the portfolio. So Udo is asking, in today's email you wrote, sorry, yesterday at the open, MCO had a -2 sigma reading. Can you just see it real time? Do you have to reload the TLAB, or is it automatically updated? It's real time, about 10 to 15 seconds delay. It's basically ring time for swing traders like ourselves who are not day traders. All right, that's a good thing to remember. TLAB is not designed for day traders, swing traders and above. That's the goal. But yeah, we're already way much real time than most tools out there. So yeah, the 2 times standard deviation was seen at the open, and yeah, it's just updating itself. We don't have to refresh the page. All right, so let's review the portfolio. So, all right, let's review positions. So, memory group remains very strong. SNDK new high yesterday, gapping up around 3% again this morning. Same thing for WDC. So those are really carrying my portfolio and paying for all the other losses. So we'll see how it goes, but so far so good. I'm on my runners, nothing to do. I'm just trailing the 21 day structure. That's my systems. That's my system. That's my rules. And oh, nice one, Matt. You just added a button to remove a name from the watch list from the charts. I didn't saw that before. Well done, Matt. Is Matt with us? Matt is not there. That's a nice ad. All right, so iron inside day yesterday. I'm on my core, just trailing the 21 day structure. Now comes the name still setting up, and that's why I think uh, it's good to remain open-minded and see how these names will shape up. Look how core, VRT, CRDO, ALAB are shaping up. They're all potential new leaders, basing for a few weeks, backtesting their rising 21 day structure, all the same look and showing a lot of relative strength as well yesterday. So those are the names that I was willing to keep yesterday because how their chart is very constructive, how they showed relative strength, and I want to see if they will hold or stop me out. All right, I'm willing to take that risk. I'm still green year to date. I still have good portfolio cushion thanks to SNDK and WDC basically. But yeah, that's the risk that I'm willing to take. And let's see today how it goes. Uh, and that will be part of the information that we'll gather. Those names are, like I said, potentially new leaders trying to emerge of the right side. Good basing process. So CRDO, multi-month base. VRT, multi-month base. ALAB, trying to carve out the low of that cup. Core, multi-week, and even month base with a shakeout. All right, so these charts look very constructive. So don't lock yourself into a scenario just because the market broke below a structure for one day. We need to see how the leaders will act. We need to see how these multi-month base will resolve. All right, that's the risk that I'm willing to take. And yeah, trading is part risk. If you're not willing to take risk, this job is not for you. I'm sorry to say that. And finally, rocket company. I think they're sending rockets into space, right? That's what they do. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nobody. All right, guys. No, rocket companies is not a space company. They don't do rocket. But uh, gap down yesterday. We're still above a rising 21 day structure. Let's see how it builds. That might be another opportunity to add to the position. But yeah, I'm on my core. Nothing to do uh, apart just trailing that 21 day structure and seeing where it finds support. All right, so that's it for the portfolio. I think the top opportunities right now, if the market confirm a shakeout scenario, and again, come into a session not knowing what will happen, but be ready to act whatever happens. So if we have XYZ news today and the market just reclaim structure, bread come in these core VRT, CRDO, ALAB are just rocketing off the right side, then you have a signal to re-engage. If the market retests structure, fade again, close weak, those names fail at their retest and backtest setup, and we close weak in the leaders as well, then you have another signal to do nothing. And between those two, that's kind of the signal to engage and the signal to reduce more risk. There's the in between. And the in between right now with QQQE below a declining 21 day structure, with breadth still contracting and red flags from the internals, it's to do nothing. All right, so you have the uh, neutral stance where we are right now. We do nothing. At least that's for me. I have some exposure. I'm pretty comfortable where I am. If we have that reclaim, then you know that you need to engage, and then you have more weakness, then you continue to reduce risk. All right? But right now we're in this equilibrium where we need more information. Otherwise, it's just business as usual, and we take action if we get stopped out. All right? Next question. You usually use a 0.5 position risk. Under what circumstances would you reduce or increase it? In situation like yesterday's market condition, would you consider lowering position? No, no. I'm pretty comfortable using 0.5. And unless I'm in a really big drawdown and I'm trading badly, that would be kind of my signal to reduce it, to be kind of in a penalty box scenario. But again, the market sucks. I don't have the traction that you normally have in a really good market cycle. But do you really expect that the market is always giving you big momentum? All right, that's a bad mindset to put yourself into. All right, I take the setups, I build exposure, not knowing if the market will reward me or stop me out, as a signal to validate the potential setup and the opportunity. All right. And if the market is in a pullback, in a shakeout, and just because it's weak, you start lowering your position size and the market start to go, then you're locked with small position size. All right, that's not how I trade. On the right side, I want to have good position size because they compensate for all the losses that you take. So I found out that for me it doesn't work, reducing that position size. And like I said, I'm still green year to date. I don't have to worry a lot at all about my performance. And I didn't make shitty trades and mistakes. I'm following my plan, my rules, my system. And that's just the feedback that the market is giving me. So no, I don't have any plan to lower my position size based on yesterday's action. Guys, you might have to look at your settings. I'm at like 1440 p. I'm at the highest streaming quality because I upgraded to Nitro, and when I update to YouTube, it's very clear. Um, so maybe have to check about like compression and if there's some data restriction on your side. I can investigate, but just by the fact that YouTube is super clear, there's maybe something going on there. Where's the YouTube link? Well, I didn't even stop the video yet, so it's not uploaded. When I stop the session, then I update it on this on YouTube, and it usually takes 10 to 15 minutes to upload, and then I share in the let me copy the link. In this channel right here, stream recordings, I post the current day recording there. All right, so any other questions, guys? And the focus list, I think we already covered, right? So you have CN, but it's quite choppy on the left side, and I still don't have any ways to filter that out. I don't like the chart look of CN. But core, VRT, even CVNA is trying to build a higher low right into structure. CRDO, and then Han Semiconductor is looking pretty good. But like I said, for me today, as long as we don't have that confirmation with QQQE above a structure, above its structure, and Brett trying to stabilize at least, there's no new trade for me today. That's the game plan. That's what I shared last night. It remains true today. Time for patience. Let's dust to settle. Let's the news to settle as well. Let's see how these core VRT, CRDO, A lab name are shaping up, and then we'll have more information to engage or not in this market. All right, so if there's no other questions, we'll start the, oh, maybe one last. What do I think about VSCO? Yeah, we discussed that yesterday, I think. I think that's a bit extended in time. So it never gave up the 21-day mid structure since August. Of course, these names can continue to run, and I have, what was the name? Health. Health was that kind of name where it never closed below the 21-day mid structure and just went on and on and on and on. And even then, it gave some basing action, some shakeout along the way, but it was very strong. Not closing below the 21-day mid structure since August is a bit of a red flag to me, and we have kind of that first trend with that slope, then we have that second leg up with that slope, then the second leg up with a near vertical slope, and look at the duration as well. Long trend, slow slope, a bit less length. Then that last leg up was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days up. So again, I wouldn't be in a hurry to engage in that name. I still think that it need to shake out a bit, base a bit more. Fully accepting the fact that I can miss the move, but I like playing high risk reward setups. SMR. Yeah, I think it might be affected. Yeah, that's something that I had it with my crypto losses yesterday with Oklo. I want to see the 10-week starting to curl up, and that's not what you get on New Scale. All right, so New Scale, you have a very deep pullback. We went from like 60 to 15. That's very, very deep. So uh, I don't like to play the first reclaim. That's usually a time where they need to base for an extended period. So that stage one accumulation that you read often. Uh, and that's for real. After such a big down move, you will have a lot of trap buyers. There's a lot of overhead supply on the left side of that chart. So that will probably not be an easy trade. And I usually stay out of those. And the way I stay out of those is because they don't have a good relative strength rank. Very, very high rank. So these are filtered out of my scans. I don't like those. And if you want in the uh, same area of the market, then you have Oklo gapping up on a news, and you have LAU, LEU, sorry, having the same chart but less of a correction. We're already, yeah, well, we're 30% off highs, but we already made a new high from that kind of stage one base. We pushed out, retested that base structure, that 21 day structure as well, and looking much better of the right side. Yeah, same thing for SMCI. That thing is 52% of highs. That's insane. It will probably need times, and there will be a lot of supply, trap buyers, a lot of volatility. That will not be an easy trade. Yeah, look at that. SMR 67% of highs. That's insane. So I'm not looking to buy those charts. All right, guys. So again, game plan for today: not buying new exposure. At least for me, I want to see what the market will do next. Is it a shakeout and we reclaim structure in the next few days? Is leaders trying to emerge from nice multi-month bases like VRT, A-Lab, CRDO? What's the other one? There's one missing. VRT, CRDO, Core, and A-Lab. How they shape up the right side. Uh, Feedback from the credit spreads as well. Do we reclaim structure and start to fade again below the 21 day structure? How the news front is shaping up as well. That's all the things that I want to get a bit more clarification before jumping in the market again. So really in neutral mindset right now. Don't want to throw more new exposure, but don't want to flip too bearish either. All right. So have a good day, everyone. Take care. And again, if you have any more questions, you know where to find me. All right. Have a good day. Cheers.